So the Raby Hunt is a two-star Michelin restaurant that's been open for 8 years, and over the last couple of years we've brought our own identity to the restaurant. So now we're very much inspired by world cuisine and things like that. It's been a journey which has taken me from doing very classic pub food to being a little bit more original like we are today. And now we're seen as one of the best restaurants in the UK, and also trying to get known throughout Europe, which is starting to happen. We're very different for the UK because we don't follow any rules, so there's no restrictions on the food we do. We can use ingredients from wherever we want them. We do try and keep local food, and we're building a walled garden this year and things like that, but I do not like restrictions in food, so I'm inspired by the cultures of the world, and I think that's what the Raby Hunt is today. Yeah, I mean, when you grow up in the northeast of England, you don't have amazing food culture, and I found that it's quite hard to do a restaurant in this area because it's not like a part of France where you've got amazing ingredients that are going to go to a high-end restaurant. I find it quite a struggle to come up with where we want to be and who we want to be, but until like the last couple of years when it's sort of, I realised the direction I want to go in, and that was by being a little bit more inspired by modern British culture, which is, you can go to London, you can eat some amazing Indian food or Chinese, it's all very amazing food. And that's the food that I wanted to eat. So it's like being inspired by all different cultures of Britain, and just doing, food of Britain in the modern day. Yeah, so I'm very obsessive with ingredients, very obsessed with perfection, um, which I think is a trait of any chef. But we have to try and find modern techniques so then we can produce a dish, and that's really how we've evolved now today. Is that we'll find a technique which has probably been done before. Um, it can be modern day passed to you by one of your friends who's a chef. I think that's great. Let's not hide any techniques. Let's just share it, and it's up to you to put your version of it. So that's the sort of thing that inspires me to create dishes, is the techniques. Getting a technique or an ingredient, but even finding a brand new ingredient can lead to a great new dish. So they're the things that inspire me to be creative, and I think that's why the restaurant's food has evolved. Yeah, I would say I'm very inspired by Japan right at the moment because they're very much obsessive people. When they do something, they do it to 100%. It's not, like just doing the sushi rice. You've got to get it perfect, the cooking technique. So those things is very similar to my personality a little bit. I'm finding is that if I do something, it's got to be perfect, or we've got to get it very near to that. So the Japanese style of food is quite, it's quite an eye opener for me, and I'm very inspired. And I'll be going there for a couple of weeks in August, and Maria, my partner's been there, and she's worked in a three-star restaurant, and she said it's once you've been, it will change everything you've ever thought about food. So that at the moment is really where we look at Japan, but we're not scared to go and do Mexican food, or I say Mexican food, it's not Mexican food, it's my take on what I think would be a dish that would work in my restaurant. Um, so they're the cultures that at the moment we're looking at, but there are things on the menu that are classic French. So we do a steak tartare with smoked eel and caviar. That's very classic French, but it's done in our way. So it's like you can go through the menu, and if you wanted to, you would see the different cultures, giving you little wow factors all the way. And food's got to have that wow factor. I I've eaten in Scandinavia and I've done all those styles of food, but for me, it's very much copied throughout the world a lot. And I think, you know, plating food on the same style plate as everybody else and things like that doesn't really appeal to me. So that's the reason we've gone that way.